Alright guys, this is Allen Bethke with Wildcat Transmission. I'll let him talk for a second about what he did to the transmission and what we got, where we're at.
We completely tore down the unit, had it all sandblasted, primed, and painted. We rebuilt it with all necessary parts that it needed, and she runs like a champ.
And I would like to thank Allen personally. I asked him today what I owe him for doing this job, and he volunteered doing all this, and there's a lot of work into this. Just can't say how much I appreciate it. We're going to shoot up a picture in this video of Allen when you were what? How old were you when you worked on this truck?
About 19, 20.
About 19, 20 years old when he worked for Midcoast Diesel, which was my grandfather's company a long time ago. So really appreciate him taking time to do this and dynoing it and just getting everything ready. I mean, all the details. He's got all the hoses, the fittings. He's put lots of time and money into this, and just can't tell him how much I appreciate him doing this for me. So looking forward to getting it back. We'll get it home. I've still got some body work. Got to get the roll cage done. Got to get a couple more things done. Once I get the roll cage done, I can get that body off and send it to the body shop, and then we're going to put this transmission in and start working on getting the powertrain done. And we're going to get this thing rolling and driving. So that'll be the exciting part. Thanks again, Allen, for everything you've done.
You're welcome, brother.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
And Wildcat Transmission for their time. And y'all have a good day. Hit that like button down in the bottom corner. Hit that subscribe button down on the bottom. Keep these videos coming. Catch you on the next one. Allen's got all this rebuilt, runs really well. We just ran it. It's what, 6-speed with lockup?
5-speed with lockup.
It's 5-speed with lockup. You know, we had it in 5th gear, hit lockup. You know, this valve here that Larry had on there, this is for manual shifting. So you supply air here, and that will actually let you shift the transmission manually up and down instead of it being full automatic. Right now, the way it's set up, it's in automatic mode. This is your shift actuator here. It's got air in here to shift up, and you put air in here to shift down. You know, when it's in automatic, it's just forward and reverse, but when we supply air to that manual valve, it'll go into manual. So anyway, got all of it done. It's dynoed out, it's ready for the truck. Do a little dyno test on it. Texas toy, Allison transmission. Okay, so I talked to Allen about the transmission, and some of the things I wanted to include in this video was there was a couple more guys that were involved in this back when it was the Midcoast Diesel days that worked in the transmission department, and they did a lot of special work to the valve body to make it shift and make it operate just how Larry wanted the truck to run. Y'all all know that Detroit is a great engine, and it makes its horsepower and torque at the top end, you know. So there's not a lot of low end in it. So, you know, as far as the shift patterns, and for that truck competing with, you know, your high octane gas engines at the time, stuff like that, he really had to try to tweak it the best he could. And so we did not make any changes to any of the shift points. And you know, when I spoke to Ricardo and I spoke to Larry before, they said, oh yeah, it'll shift automatically, but you got to wrap it out. You know, if you know a Detroit diesel, 2200 RPM, 2150 is pretty much, that thing is screaming. And so the transmission was actually set up for the first to second shift. I think he said it was somewhere around 1700. So that transition's pretty smooth. You know, as far as the ratios, they're pretty close. So, you know, but I think third was one of his primary gears that he did most of the pulling in. And so, you know, I think it was like 1800 or something, if I remember these numbers right. Don't hold me to them, but I'm pretty close. Allen said it went from second to third at almost 1850. And then from the third, I think that's your primary gear that he spent most of the time in, because he set it up to where it wouldn't come out of third gear until about 2150 RPM. And that's pretty much the max RPM for that engine. So that means it's going to have to be to the floor, it's going to have to be pulling its load, it's going to have to be, you know what I mean, not bogged down. So it's going to have to be at the top of its game to make that fourth shift. And so, you know, just some interesting things that were tied into the valve body at the time. You know, and then of course the fourth and fifth shifts were very, I think they were back around 1700, you know, because if you're running that fast, you're not in the top end. But I think, you know, he focused on second, third, and fourth as the primary gears. And so they designed that valve body around those gears, because that's where his pulling was. And that's, you know, that truck was designed to pull sleds before it was ever a monster truck and, you know, competed against Bigfoot and some of the others. So anyway, just wanted to plug that data into the video and let everybody know about that part. Thought that was kind of interesting. And we'll get back to the video.